I'm sharing this with you today because I think that you or somebody that you know should apply for building our narrative power, which is a new year long program about narrative change. Um, and those words, they might mean something to you already, or could just be a piece of jargon that means nothing. And I guess the things that helped me get my head around narrative change was thinking about stories and storytelling and the stories that we tell ourselves as a society, as groups of people, about society, about climate change, about economic justice, about different groups of people in our society. So, to give an example of a really practical way that this is kind of coming about recently, for lots of us campaigning for trans rights or working on trans rights, myself included, really seen a rise of anti-trans articles in the media at the moment. And this feeds into the bigger stories or narratives that society kind of understands or tells itself about trans people. So, for example, it's led to government being more hostile to trans people. It's led to people who previously never thought about trans people maybe now getting sucked into anti-trans views, this kind of stuff. And a lot of what we do as trans activists or campaigners is we try to respond to these things. And we know that in order for trans rights to get better, the stories that we tell about trans people as a society need to shift and change. Trans rights are never gonna improve. We're never gonna have justice in a society that tells really damaging lies about trans people. And so this is the work of narrative change. It's not just about changing one story or getting a couple better perspectives into the media. It's about thinking, okay, what is the future that we want for trans folks or migrants, or what's the kind of better economic system we want, or what does a just response to climate change look like? And thinking about not just how we get there, but the stories and the communication that will help us get there, that will help shift the way that society thinks and that groups think, so that we can also shift the way that we act and respond to things on a broader scale. And that takes planning, it takes strategy, and it's also the long work and the work that we don't often have the space to do because we're just firefighting all the time and we're exhausted and we haven't got enough space to rest or pull back and think about what we're dreaming of and why we're doing this anyway. And so we want to make that space, which is why Building Our Narrative Power came about. It's a year-long program for 16 kind of frontline community members, or people who are kind of doing this work a little bit, but maybe historically haven't been paid for it or resourced for it. And it's a space where we're gonna resource our movements by supporting a bunch of folks through this. And yeah, if you would like to be one of those folks, or if you know somebody who is really passionate about shifting the current of how we look at things and making change in the long term, and wants to do something that's kind of restful and reflective and give space to their learning, then please apply. You've got until 9 a.m. on Monday, September 4th. I'll drop a link with more info in the description of this video. But yeah, we're PIRC, the Public Interest Research Centre, and yeah, we want to create something with you that dreams into being the futures that we all want to see across different movements collaborating together. And just in case your cost is a barrier for you, the program is free. All travel and childcare expenses will be paid for, food will be included. And we also have a bunch of bursary places, so it will be free for everyone. But for those who would struggle to attend something that's free, we also have spaces that are going to be, you'll be paid for your time to be there, basically. And that could be the full time or part of it. So yeah, apply or share with folks that you think would be great for this. And I'm really, really, really looking forward to hopefully collaborating with some of you next year.